Hi everyone, I hope you all are fine. Plus, you are taking care of yourself and your family. I hope you have started your studies because it's a hard time now. There is no time to waste. So, today we are going to start your English grammar and we'll study noun today. Noun, it is the most very important chapter. It is the third chapter in your class, dear students, class 8. So, but before that, I would like to request you to please like and subscribe this channel to receive more and more exciting news and data. Plus, please come and sit with a notebook and a pen so that you can jot down and write down the important points of this lecture. Today we are going to study 5 topics. We are going to study the complete noun. So be attentive everyone. Let's get started. You all know what are noun. Noun is the name of a person, place or thing. Today we are going to study the types of noun. Let's start. Proper noun, common noun, abstract noun, collective noun and countable and uncountable noun. So coming to a proper noun. Proper noun are actually which is specific, in which the name is given. Ram, Sita, the like Pune, Kolkata. The name is specifically given. You know who is the person, what is the person we are talking about, who is the person. Then common noun is just the opposite of proper noun. The name is not specifically given. For example, a teacher, engineer, doctor. You don't know which teacher you're talking about, which doctor you're talking about. Country, you don't know which country. City, we don't know which city. So this was common noun. Coming to abstract noun, the nouns that cannot be touched, they cannot be seen, they cannot be measured, they can only be felt. For example, love, hate, kindness, brotherhood, sympathy, empathy. So leadership, these are abstract nouns. Then coming to countable and uncountable noun, the nouns that can be counted are countable noun. The name, from the name itself you are getting the idea. For example, pencil, paper, chair, pen, these all can be counted. So these are countable nouns. Coming to uncountable nouns, milk, sugar, oil, these cannot be counted. So these are uncountable nouns. Coming to collective noun, actually when there are so many nouns but they are taken as one, as a one they are taken, so these are collective noun. For example, a bunch of grapes. Bunch, actually there are many grapes but we have taken as one, a bunch of grapes. So this was kinds of noun, dear students. Coming to the case, we are going to study the case now. Let's start with, it has nominative case, objective case, dative case, possessive case and vocative case. So there are total 5 cases in noun, dear students. This is for class 6. There are 5 cases. So coming to nominative case, when the subject is the direct, when the a noun or a pronoun is said to be in nominative case when it is a direct subject of a verb. For example, Sita is my sister. So Sita is here in nominative case because it is a direct subject in the sentence or in the language. Coming to objective case, where a noun or a pronoun is said to be in objective case when it is the direct object of the verb. It can be direct object of a preposition also. For example, she is writing a letter. So she or Sita writes a letter. So here letter is an objective case. Coming to dative case. Dative case is just the opposite of objective case, dear students. Just the opposite. When a noun or a pronoun is said to be in a dative case when it is the indirect object of a subject, or indirect subject of object. And I would like to tell you one thing. If the preposition comes before that object, then it is not in dative case. For example, the postman brought me a letter. Postman is a noun, brought is a verb and letter is in dative case because in between there is a verb. So this was dative case. Coming to possessive case, it is a very easy, the most easiest case in noun is possessive case. A noun or a pronoun is said to be in a possessive case when it is in possession or in the ownership. For example, Sunil is Anita's brother. So Anita is possessing Sunil. Anita is in possessive case. Or the most simple, this is my pen. I am possessing that pen. So this is my, that word my is in possessive case. Then coming to vocative case, a noun or pronoun is said to be in a vocative case when it is directly denoting something. It is directly pointing out someone, addressing someone. Okay, for example, Thomas, come inside. We are directly addressing that person. No, so Thomas is in vocative case. So these were the cases, students. Then coming to changing from singular to plural. This is very easy. See, there are some suffixes we add when we change singular noun to plural noun. Sometimes we add s, sometimes we add es, sometimes we add ies, sometimes we add en also, sometimes we add ves like calf, calves. Okay, so this was changing from singular to plural. Then coming to countable and uncountable noun. I will tell you the most easy trick, dear students. Without going into more lengthy form, I'll tell you the simple and shortest trick. See, before countable noun, we use a and an as an article. A chair. Okay, an aeroplane. Chair can be counted, so we used a. Aeroplane can be counted, so we used an. But before uncountable noun, we don't use a and the. We can use some, few, little. For example, she wants some sugar. Sugar can be counted? No, sugar cannot be counted. So we have used some before the sugar. Can we say she wants an sugar? No, she wants some sugar. So this was uncountable noun. What to use before the countable and uncountable noun, it is very necessary to know. So we have also done that. Then coming to what is left? Do you know different kinds of parts of speech can be changed to noun? Can be changed to abstract noun exactly? Yes, don't get shocked. I will tell you. See, verb can also be changed to abstract noun. Adjectives can also be changed to abstract nouns. And sometimes common noun can also be changed to abstract noun. For example, let's take verb first. Behave is a verb. Do you all agree with me? Behave is a verb. Behave is a verb. Behavior, abstract noun. Can we touch behavior? Can we see behavior? Can we measure behavior? No. So behavior is an abstract noun. Then coming to laugh. Laugh is a verb. Laughter is an abstract noun. Can we touch laughter? It's an abstract noun. Yes. Then we have changed verb to abstract noun. Coming to adjectives to changing to abstract noun. For example, unique. What kind of a person is that? That person is very unique. So unique to uniqueness. Wise. She's a very wise girl. He's a very wise man. Wise is adjective. Wisdom is abstract noun. Wisdom. Can we touch wisdom? No. So wisdom is abstract noun. Here we changed adjective to abstract noun as well. Then coming to, sometimes we can change common nouns to abstract nouns, like leader. Leader is a common noun. You don't know which leader we are talking about. But when we change leader to leadership, it's an abstract noun. Right? Brother. You don't know which brother we are talking about. You don't know the name. Cousin, brother, real brother. But when we've added S-H-I-P, hood, H-O-O-D, brotherhood, leadership, S-H-I-P, H-O-O-D. So we have changed verb to abstract noun, common noun to abstract noun, and adjective to abstract noun. It was interesting, no, dear students. So today we have studied so many topics. We have covered all the topics basically, or somewhere we have covered most of the topics in noun. Today we studied what is noun. We studied types of noun. We studied cases of noun. We studied how to change singular to plural nouns. We studied what to use, which article to use before countable and uncountable noun. And we studied how to change different parts of speech into abstract noun. I will tell you one thing more. So these were 6 topics, 6 topics we studied. One topic more is left. There are different genders of noun. Masculine gender, female gender, and neuter gender, common gender. Masculine gender for male, female gender for female, neuter gender for non-living thing, and common gender in which the gender is not known, engineer, teacher. Okay, so I hope this was interesting. Please cooperate with me. Don't make my effort useless. Jot down. I hope you have jotted down the important points. Make the fair notes of this lecture and read the chapter very carefully. Here are some set of homeworks. Do write all these 7 points in your copy. Plus, make the examples in your own from your own daily life, so that it gets stored in your mind and you don't forget till the exam. Plus, second homework is make fair notes of in your copy, because it is very necessary, students. Make fair notes. And third, do discuss it with your parents and your friends and your siblings, because discussion always increases your intelligence and your knowledge. I hope you enjoyed this session, students. Don't make my effort waste. Do study and move along with me so that we can cover up all our courses. Thank you, students. Bye.